Germany to send 88 Leopard I tanks to Ukraine.
Here's a summary of the article.
The German government has approved the delivery by a private arms maker of its old Leopard I tanks to Kyiv, a government spokesperson said Friday. The move further signals a reversal of Berlin's policy on tanks for Ukraine, 9 days after the Chancellery announced it would send one company of Leopard 2 tanks to Kyiv as part of a European coalition. The German government is also considering buying back 15 Leopard tanks it had sold to Qatar, but might also face some issues there, since ammunition for these is made in Switzerland, which has so far refused to approve re-exports to Ukraine on the grounds that it would breach its neutrality. After weeks of intense pressure from its partners, Germany announced last week it would approve the delivery of about 80 Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine, including about 14 of its own tanks, as part of a coalition of European countries. Since the tanks are German-made, other countries or private companies willing to send them to Ukraine needed the German government's approval. Kyiv has been pressing its allies to send tanks for months, saying it needs hundreds to face a potential Russian counteroffensive in the spring. The UK has also pledged to send Kyiv some of its own Challenger 2 tanks, while the US has said it will send 31 M1 Abrams tanks.
This post received a score of 22,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
According to other German news, this is true, but there are problems to get the needed amount of ammo and not all of them are ready. Some need maintenance. Also, this needs approval from German parliament, which it does not have. So you will probably hear more about this in 4 weeks.
If they are fielding the 105mm L7, they can source ammunition from other countries because everyone and their grandma used them.
Can confirm. Grandma uses her 105mm L7 barrel to roll out the cookie dough.
Always having a blast with grandma's cookies.
Wait until she gets her cocktail shaker out.
Grandma makes some bomb-ass cookies.
A real explosion of flavor in every bite.
Greater than the German government is also considering buying back 15 Leopard tanks it had sold to Qatar. This is the most important bit of the news, IMO.
And once again Switzerland being dicks about it. Someday Switzerland is going to get invaded and the whole world is going to turn their backs on them just like they are to Ukraine.
So something I'm struggling to understand here, maybe somebody with more knowledge can explain. If Switzerland's neutrality law does not allow export or re-export of arms and ammunition to countries that are at war, why would any military ever use them? If a war broke out, wouldn't that potentially leave you stuck without a source of resupply?
Their machine cannons are basically the standard. Back in WW2, they were licensed to both Allies and Axis, and during the Cold War, they probably assumed that they have enough ammo in storage to last the war, or at least until the Soviets reached the Atlantic. Or that when the front gets close to the Alps, the Swiss would realize that they are close to being neighbors to the Soviets. And the last decades everybody focused on war on terror and other fights against insurgents, which would also not cut one off from Swiss ammo.
Also worth noting, Germany already announced in December that they're building a domestic factory for Leopard ammo, specifically to avoid dealing with Swiss export rules. Just ain't ready yet.
Germany just is happy to do engineering things.
People need to stop with the numerology. Lol, Germany hasn't even announced how many Leo 1 will be sent. The press just assumes it will be 88 because that's how many Rheinmetall reportedly has in stock. The only official word was the export request for Leopard 1 tanks has been granted. That's all we know for now.
The numerology I am concerned with is the 70mm of plain steel on the front of the Leo 1. Its primary defense is hoping that any round that hits it goes through and out the other side.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.